What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. And welcome after the Dodgers clinch a postseason berth for the 10th straight season. They beat up on the Padres. They win by a final score of 11-2. They improved to 96-43 on the season, 20 games up of the San Diego Padres in the division. The Dodgers now a 310 run differential. Their 8th straight series win against the Padres. They've won 22 of their last 25 games against Little Brother, and the big story today was about Justin Turner. JT was the man today. Another multi-home run game against the Padres. He had one back at the end of June, and we know that Joe Musgrove, he poked the bear when he said that Justin Turner wasn't a huge threat. Well, I got news for you, Joe Musgrove. You're not a huge threat to the Los Angeles Dodgers because you have a 6.45 ERA against LA this season, and we know that Justin Turner is Joe Musgrove's Padre. So let me know down below in the comment section, who is your player of the game? I'm looking for that comment of the game, and if you get the comment of the show, and for that you're going to see one of these.
You win.
If you bring those fire takes, you're going to see one of these.
Fire take.
So let's get right into it, guys. Who's your player of the game? What are your takeaways from the Dodgers series win against the San Diego Padres? The Los Grand Slamgeless Dodgers today, body slamming Slam Diego. But here we go. Jump to this comment section. Padres are a bust every year. That's from Nando390. Gary Webb, not a threat. Yeah, give me a hashtag not a threat. Smash that like button. If you're new to the show, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Like I said, this is your show. I'm just hosting it. I'm the man of the fan. Let's hear what we got here. All we do is win. That's from Christopher Torres. Yeah, let me give you a Let's Go Dodgers for that. Don Kim, this game was not a threat. You guys are letting Joe Musgrove hear it, and he deserves it. Like I said, he poked the bear back when he downright insulted Justin Turner when he said that he wasn't a threat, and JT hits the 2 home runs. And my favorite thing, too, I'm going to do a breakdown on this, so be sure to look out for that on the YouTube channel, is when he's coming back to that Dodgers dugout, you heard Justin Turner's teammates. You heard them saying, not a threat. They're yelling, not a threat. And then Cody Bellinger's like, not a threat, baby, as he's walking back to that dugout. So this team, they knew it, they heard it, they were very aware of what Joe Musgrove said, and I love it. And you wouldn't expect anything less from Ginger Jesus, JT, the way that he has persevered throughout his career. So we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk about Andrew Heaney's outing. We're going to talk about Chris Taylor and Cody Bellinger. You have clean-shaven CT3. You have high Sox belly. I mean, Bellinger's socks are higher than he is now, and he goes 2 for 4 today, got 2 singles, had the single to center, had the little infield single there, so we'll talk about that. And yeah, this Dodger team, what more can you say? They clinch a postseason berth, but in the words of the great Kobe Bryant, job not finished. So I'm sure they'll talk about it very briefly, and they'll get refocused on, one, putting on their Halloween costumes. I can't wait to see that one. But by the way, here's a bonus question for you guys. What is your favorite Dodgers Halloween costume of all time that you've seen? I think, to me, I'm going Pennywise. I'm going Dustin Mania. But here we go. Jump back into this comment section here. Bring it. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Dodgers get the win 11-2. They improved to 96-43 on the season. Guys, let me just go out and say this right now. This isn't normal. This isn't normal for a franchise in a competitive sport like Major League Baseball to continually be perennial World Series contenders, but this organization, with the resources they have, with the commitment to winning that they have been on a tear for the last decade, and this is truly the golden age of Dodger baseball. Let's just cap it off with a few more World Series titles. But here we go, back in the comment section. Hell yeah, Dodgers. That's from Rafa Rodriguez over on YouTube. We got Deborah Young. Let's go Dodgers. Here you go. Justin Slam Diego Turner from Brian Sepulveda. You get a fire take for that one. Lucy Park, D-Mac. What up, Lucy Park? Welcome. What rivalry? That's from Rick Williams. Yeah. Hey, Rick, that's a fantastic point over on YouTube. Last time I checked, a rivalry is when both teams are competing for the same thing, and this Dodgers team and the Padres, they're not competing for anything. I mean, it is the definition of a rivalry is competition for the same objective or for superiority in the same field. Well, there is no competition when it comes to the Dodgers and the Padres. The last time they faced off, the Dodgers, they made light work of the Padres, swept them in the NLDS in 2020. This season, They have dominated San Diego. They've taken 22 of their last 25 games from the San Diego Padres. So really, what rivalry? It is Dodger Stadium South. You saw yesterday when Trey Turner hit that home run, it almost felt like it was a home game. Dodger Stadium South was rocking. It was mainly Dodger fans out there. And you guys know my theory. You guys know that I feel that the Padres need to allow the Dodgers to wear the wedding gown white uniforms because it's truly a home game for LA. But yeah, the Dodgers, they've dominated the Padres, and they did again once again this season. They haven't lost a season series since 2010. A season series. So I'm talking about the whole season series. So yeah, the Dodgers, they won their 8th straight against San Diego. It was a complete dominance today. They went by a final score of 11-2. But here we go. We got JT owns Padres. That's from Hawk. JT owns the Madres. Calvin the Goat streams. Like I said, Joe Musgrove, you poke the bear. JT is Joe Musgrove's Padre. The Dodgers are the Padres' Padre. But here we go. Another victory at the Dodgers Beach House. James Rodriguez. Yeah, I can see you're a friend of the show. We call it that too sometimes, but absolutely. We own the Madres from Caroline Alba. Let's freaking go. Ricardo Rodriguez over on Facebook. Go Dodgers from Facebook user. Mo Martinez. Padres will never beat my Dodgers. Iris K. Time for Belly to rejoin the Clean Shaving Club. Iris K. Interesting. Look, that was one of my takeaways from this series. As Chris Taylor is showing some signs of life. You know that when he finds it and when he can find his swing, he's hotter than the devil's armpit. One of the streakiest players out here on Major League Baseball. He's so streaky. It's like when you wind down your window after getting a car wash and you forgot and you see all those streaks. That's how streaky Chris Taylor can get. In this series, he definitely showed signs of life. He ends up going 4 for 12 in 3 games versus the Padres, hitting .333, including a home run today. And that was big for Chris Taylor to not only have some success, but actually go deep and hit a home run. So very impressive, and that's exactly what the Dodgers need. All this, play Trayce Thompson, play Joey Gallo, play these other guys. No, they need guys that are proven postseason players that the Dodgers know and that they can trust, and Chris Taylor is absolutely one of those guys. So really, option number one, the best case scenario for LA is that their top dogs like Chris Taylor, a guy that we saw Ock Taylor last season, he was carrying the entire Dodgers offense for the most part. For him to get it going, it's going to be absolutely massive for this team. And it was his first home run since August 16th. So that's definitely good news for LA. And then you talk about Cody Bellinger. He went 2 for 4 after going 0 for 4 with 2 punch-outs in the first 2 games. He snapped an 0 for 24 slump. He got a little belly boo-boo when he was sliding in there scoring that run. And the Dodgers, as a team today, they end up getting 11 runs on 12 hits. They get 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 6th in the 7th, and then 1 in the 9th when Trey Turner, I'm not sure if that ball landed yet. I mean, it was up in the warehouse. He crushed one off of Will Myers. So, yeah, Dodgers get 4 home runs today, 2 from Justin Turner, 1 from Chris Taylor, and 1 from Trey Turner. What I always say, if you want the dub, you've got to slug, and the Dodgers did just that. When you out-homer your opponent in Major League Baseball this season, you win games at a 78% clip, and that's going to bring me to Andrew Heaney. 1, give me your grade for Andrew Heaney's start today. And also, do you want to see Andrew Heaney on the postseason roster? Give me a yes or give me a no. If you want to give me some takes too, I'd appreciate that. What's your reasoning? Because he's a very interesting player to assess. Because when it comes to Andrew Heaney, he has been home run Heaney of late. 11 bombs in his last 5 games. He's served up 11 home runs in his last 5 games, but you also seen some ridiculous strikeout numbers for Heaney. But I want to get your takes on that. We're going to dive into that. We're going to continue to break this one down. But guys, congratulations, another postseason berth. Let's celebrate. How do I like to celebrate? I like to do it with some Jim Beam highball seltzers. Please drink responsibly. That's some good stuff.
You win.
But here we go. We got Heaney redeemed himself today from Iris K. Heaney for middle relief. That's from Joe Carrero. Captain Redbeard with the grand salami. That's from Mr. Cat over on YouTube. JT hit some bombs today. Let's go. Keep it up. Hashtag Dodgers Nation. That's from Cody Nicholson over on YouTube. Yeah, guys, we're going to be rocking and rolling all postseason long, doing tons of giveaways. So, yeah, be sure to tell all your friends to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel as well, because we're going to be going every single show pretty soon. Dodgers going to clinch the division. Magic number is down to 2. This team is on pace to shatter the Dodgers' all-time record for wins in a season. So you love to see it, man. This is really the golden age of Dodger baseball. And, yeah, you've had some great dynasties. You've had some great times throughout Dodger history, but now the team is, they're almost on pace to win 112 games. So at 111 right now. But, yeah, let's jump back in this comment section. Will Smith is going to have a World Series baby. That's from Iris K. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Will Smith, he could have a World Series baby, but he's already made it very clear that he's not going to miss any time because of it. So Will Smith, he is legend, and he's not going to be slapping Chris Rocks. He's going to be slapping baseballs all postseason long. So, yeah, you love to see that. But here we go. Jump back into this comment. Yeah, so that is a very good point, though, Iris K, is he could be having a baby. But what's up from Santa Ana? That's from Joseph Megazzeni, a Dodgers Nation post-game show. Day one, thanks for joining us today, Joseph Megazzeni. Wendy Miller, I knew they had it in them. JT, great jobs. That's for Wendy Miller. Yeah, Justin Turner, really, like I said, he's been fantastic. He really got off to a slow start, but he has turned things up. Second half of the season, a 922 OPS for JT in the second since the All-Star break, and you're seeing him hit doubles, you're seeing him get on base, and they're going to need that sweet swing. Let's not forget that Justin Turner, he pretty much holds virtually every single Dodgers postseason it's statistic when it comes to postseason best. So he's a guy that has come through in the postseason again and again and again, and he's been fantastic in the second half of the season. And along with Max Muncy, two guys that I'm old enough to remember when people were saying that JT was washed. People wanted to see Miguel Vargas just supplant him at third base. People wanted to see them make some trades. But hey, old man JT, and I say that with quotations, is definitely getting it done. And you can thank Joe Musgrove because he is absolutely one of the catalysts, because ever since then, JT's really gone on a tear. And hey, Joe Musgrove, like I said earlier in the show, you're the one that's not a threat. A 6.45 ERA versus the Dodgers. You're supposed to be their ace. Hey, the Dodgers, they do what they do best. They grind out at-bats, and they took advantage of mistakes. And now the Dodgers, they're 51-15 since June 29th, and they lead all of Major League Baseball with a 310 run differential. This team is historically good, and we're going to enjoy this run. Here we go. Soto, not a threat. Joe Correo. Reppin' Dodgers from the 818 from Isaac Too Nice over on YouTube. Daniel Bowler says Dodgers rock. Dave, slam to poppies. Dodgers number one. Player of the game is Joe Musgrove. Hashtag not a threat. That's a fire take from Baby Mike 1313 over on YouTube. Hater not a threat. I love it. You guys are just bringing it. Yes, D-Mac breakdowns. Hey, Don Kim, thanks for rocking with us, man. Appreciate you. Those are always a lot of fun. Glad you like it, though. Joe C., what's up with Hanser? We don't need a cheerleader in the postseason. Joe C. Look, what I've said about Hanser Alberto is he's the highest paid mascot in sports. No, but look, the reality when it comes to Hanser Alberto is there are other guys that provide better pop, better skills that they need off the bench, and I do think that he's a guy that is definitely on the fringe right now when it comes to making the postseason roster. I mean, if you look at the end of that bench, it's very interesting because Hanser Alberto is a guy that they signed to be a guy that has good bat-to-ball skills, a guy that can hit for contact and at least put the ball in play when they need it the most. But, yeah, I mean, this year so far, Hanser Alberto hasn't been offensively what the Dodgers hoped he would be, but you also consider those intangibles. He definitely is one of the most popular guys in that Dodgers dugout. Mookie Betts said a few weeks ago to reporters that he's the catalyst, and he's really a glue guy. But if you look at his numbers, the Dodgers pay you to produce, and a 65 WRC plus this season, that's just not going to get it done. That means he's 35% below league average when it comes to offensive productivity. So, yeah, is he a guy that is, right-handed bat, and he's a guy that, we'll see if he can continue to hopefully he after he got that shot in his back, he was much better, but he's kind of regressed since then. But you guys think Hanser Alberto should make the postseason roster? But here, let's jump into this comment section. Dustin, for sure, no drought. Iris K, the D in Dodgers stands for dominance. I like that. Our farm is insane. Craig, pop champagne tomorrow. Just is a threat. Luis Andre Jackson, fire. That's from Joe C. Yeah, it was nice to see Andre Jackson get an opportunity. It was mop-up time, but Andre Jackson, he ends up going 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts, allowed 2 hits, 30 pitches, 22 for strikes. I was impressed by Andre Jackson pounding the strike zone, attacking the zone, and yeah, I definitely thought that was big for him to go out there. It's 4 for 8 on first pitch strikes. But here we go. Seriously, Padres are absolute garbage from Mr. Penny 3. You got to finish it for that. Yeah, when you bring the super hardcore disses, whatever, you can hear the Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
Finish him.
Joey Gallo. Yeah, Joey Gallo. Little box score report. Joey Gallo, he ended up going 0 for 4 in today's game. He had some strikeouts, but here we go. We got 10 strikeouts in this postseason, only 1 World Series win. We got to do better, boys. Go Dodgers. Yeah, I always say when it comes to this era, the Dodgers, they're the incomplete elite. And they could use a World Series or 2, but at the same token, if you're going to play that card, then I don't ever want to hear you saying the Astros are cheaters and this and that. The Trastros cheated because really the Dodgers, they should have 2 World Series titles. And in 2018, if the Red Sox were cheating with the Apple Watch, maybe the Dodgers find a way to, the Red Sox, they did win 108 games that year. But, yeah, who knows? D-Mac, my man, what up, Blue Magic? Justice is definitely a threat. Back to this comment section. Thank God we don't have to face Gallen. That's from Trace Gallo. Yeah, Galentine's Day is definitely pitched better of late. The Dodgers against the Diamondbacks. I think they're going to want to. You're going to see a very different feel for this team when they win the division. Dave Roberts has already said you're not going to see them popping champagne and spraying beer all over, maybe even some Jim Beam highball cells. You're not going to be seeing that. This team is going to, in my opinion, have a very jobs not finished Kobe Bryant mentality, because the reality with this team is, as good as they've been, with how much success they've achieved this season, they could win 111, 112 games, but it's not going to mean anything if they don't win the ring. It don't mean a thing if you don't win that ring, and the Dodgers, they realize that their success or failure is ultimately going to be determined by if they win a piece of metal, if they win the World Series championship and you have a parade in Los Angeles. And those are the stakes, because when you have a team that's this talented with this amount of stars, there's more stars on the Dodgers than there are in most red carpets here in Hollywood, okay? There's the Freddie Freemans, the Mookie Betts. Then you also consider the depth, the youthful talent. This team is built to win this season. So, yeah, Heaney for middle relief. Heaney redeemed himself today. Redeem me, Heaney. Iris K. JT hit some bombs today. Roy Estrada, yeah, we talked about that. A multi-home run game for JT. 13 home runs on the season. Ginger Jesus, he's still going, man. Hey, Justin Turner, like I always say, he's the milk to the Dodgers cereal, the unofficial captain of this team, and definitely that was the play of the game, the moment of the game, and I thought it was fantastic the way that his red turn 2, he sees red when he sees just Joe Musgrove, when he sees this Padres team where the ace of their staff, it came, look at, I dropped I did one of those little memes where it's like, oh no, and when it's Joe Musgrove saying that he's not a huge threat, and what does JT do? He absolutely owned him. But a sale loaner says, you tell me, good enough to win a parade without the deadline trade, LOL. It depends. I mean, I still think there's a lot up in the air with this team. There's a lot of question marks with the pitching, and that's just the reality of the situation, especially coming off the news that we heard yesterday of Blake Trinan heading to the IL. How is Tony Gonsolin going to bounce back? So to me, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. For a team that has this many wins, when it comes to confidence, it's really going to come down to health. And will this Dodgers starting rotation hold up? Will this bullpen hold up? I'm very confident that the offense is going to be able to produce enough runs in the postseason, especially with the addition of Freddie Freeman, especially with Max Muncy back to looking like Max Muncy. I think Trey Turner is going to have a breakout postseason, and I think Mookie Betts, he's had a fantastic year as well. I think the offense is going to be able to score runs. I don't think they're going to score 5.9 runs per game like they have since the beginning of August, but to me, this Dodgers pitching staff, there's more questions than the Riddler's blazer, okay? I mean, more question marks than the Riddler's blazer. I think that we still need to see this team remain healthy, and that's why I feel really good about the fact that they have built this cushion. They do have a 20-game lead in the NL West. That's going to allow them to hopefully get guys at their best when it comes to health. But Bobby Miller for TBA, we'll see. I mean, talk to some people over the weekend. I seriously think that we're getting closer to it. We're not getting far away from it. Let's just put it like that. So proud of my man Jackson today. Homie was killer in high school. That's from Sam. Yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about some Andrew Heaney, guys. Grade his outing here. Do you think that Andrew Heaney, what is your trust level for him in the postseason? Here we go. I want to cuddle with Cody from E. Smith. Jason, Dodgers spank their little brothers. Again, that's from Jason over on Facebook. Clean shaven CT3 can hit. That's from JB12. Sub D-Max. Sub Mr. Me Rojo over on YouTube. We got Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. Joe, not a threat. Musgrove from Cesar Leone. They call him the Madres for reason. Mike Aranda, Dodgers beat the San Diego red-headed step kids. That's from Mike Aranda. And a redhead really beat them today. Pods will make playoffs because Brewers suck. That's from Blue Magic. Re-sign Trey. That is from Bruce Wayne. Kenley blew a save for Seattle. I saw that. Hanser doesn't play enough to get a hitting streak going. Interesting thought. I mean, look, that's the role you have, though, when you're a Hanser Alberto. You have to embrace that role. It's not about you getting playing time that you think that is going to help you advance your swing or get on a hot streak. No, when you are an end-of-the-bench guy, you have to be ready to go. It's almost like, in basketball, the sixth man is not looking for starter minutes, right? I mean, you are going to play when your number is called, and you have to be a professional in that spot. And if you're unable to handle that role, there's not going to be a spot for you in this league. Because if you were good enough to be a starter, you would be a starter, right? But the fact is, you're not good enough to be a starter. So you have to embrace that role because there's guys out there that can do it. Jackson's changeup was nasty. That's from Jamie Lannister. Yeah, I mean, Andre Jackson is a guy that he definitely has kind of been in purgatory a little bit this year. His growth has been a little bit in neutral. Feels like he got passed up. Of course, you saw guys like even Michael Grove getting the call up, even guys like Ryan Pepio getting multiple opportunities. But yeah, I mean, he definitely has potential out there. There is no question about it. I thought the four-seam fastball up in the zone that he used to get Campusano to strike out swinging, 95-mile-per-hour fastball in that spot. You were seeing soft contact. You were seeing him get really easy outs, not stressful outs. So yeah, I definitely was encouraged by that. And I also really like the at-bat to Myers, the way he used his changeup. He got that strike swinging bottom of the zone. He got the foul ball up in on Myers. So the way he was changing eye levels with that changeup, yeah, definitely like what I saw from him today. I like what I saw from Alex Vesia. I thought Vesia was dominant out there on the mound for the Dodgers, coming in and getting it done. A 1-2-3 inning. He struck out Bell, a big at-bat. He was up in the count, 1-2. Finally gets him to strike out swing with the slider up in the zone. He got Myers looking at a slider for strike three, and they got Cronenworth to ground out. And then, of course, there's Andrew Heaney. So Andrew Heaney, we're going to talk about his outing next. We'll do a couple more lightning fire. Here we go. Jimmy Denson, D-Mac plus Jim Beam equal new Vin Scully, D-Mac 2022. Thanks, Jimmy. That's a pretty high praise right there, putting me in the same sense with Vin Scully. That's pretty much blasphemy, I think, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, the man. And, yeah, speaking of Jim Beam, guys, try this Jim Beam highball seltzer. Definitely refreshing. Love it. Crush it. Someone call me an Uber. Joey Gallo 0 for 4. What does Catman stand a chance? Does Catman stand a chance to win the NL Cy Young? That's from Bruce Wayne over on YouTube. He's not going to win the NL Cy Young, but I do think there's a chance that he could finish in the top 5 when it comes to Cy Young voting. And maybe if he comes back, has a couple solid starts, you'll maybe see him even go higher than that. But I think when it comes to Tony Gonsolin at this point, you can rule out a Cy Young victory because he's not going to be qualifying for a lot of the statistics. But it's still a great year for Tony Gonsolin. Also, it's really key because with that new pre-arbitration player pool, Tony Gonsolin could earn some extra money if he is able to finish in the top 5 when it comes to Cy Young voting. But currently right now, Tony smokes the great Catsby. In 128 1/3 innings pitched, a 2.10 ERA, a .865 WHIP, 116 strikeouts to 35 walks. But really, the most important thing for Tony is to come back and prove that he's healthy and to also make sure that he's built up enough to pitch in the postseason. That is the big factor because you want him as a starter. You want to see him go 6 innings, hopefully, give you a quality start, and I think that is where he was trending. But currently 120 1/3 innings. Before that, his career high innings pitched was around 60 when you consider regular season and postseason combined. That came last season. So when you consider the fact that he's already doubled his career high in innings pitched in a big league season, that's definitely something you want to be sensitive to, especially when you consider that forearm strain that he's been dealing with, that forearm soreness, and the way he throws that pitch. Good afternoon, D-Mac. Good afternoon, Doom_Sal. YouTube. Did everyone's football teams win? Did everyone's fantasy team win? Because I took Christian McCaffrey, and I regret it already. But anyways, I digress. Juan No-Show Soto is hitting 218, 3 homers, 6 RBIs in 32 games. That's from Michael Hoffer. It's a fire take. Yeah, man, Trace Thompson is doing better with the Dodgers than Juan Soto with the Padres. But, yeah, we'll see. And that's why I think if you're the Padres, the fact that their fans have already started booing him, wow. I agree, D-Mac. Forget the record. We need another World Series win. That's from Mr. Cat. Trace Gallo, Bobby Miller for TBA on Wednesday. We'll see. I can't say too much, but we'll see. LLWC, Doug, does it not feel like Pujols is going to steal the thunder from the Dodgers if he reaches 700 and the Dodgers get to the 100 teens? Who gets all of the thunder? LLWC. Look, I think that there's enough media coverage, hopefully, and yes, you have football back, so that definitely changes things. But I think if this Dodgers team wins 111 games, I think the only way for them to really get the pub would be if they got close to that 116 wins that you saw the 1906 Cubs get and the 2001 Mariners. But if you just get close to it and you're breaking the Dodgers franchise record of 106 wins, which they've done twice, once in 2019 and once in 2021, you're probably not going to get too much media coverage for it. Whereas this Albert Pujols, when you talk about hitting 7 home runs, when you talk about the story of Albert Pujols going back to St. Louis, I think that's definitely going to get more coverage because you can tune in for a moment. For an entire game, you got to watch that whole game. So they're not going to say, oh, we're going to cut to the Dodgers game where they're 1 out away from their 110th win. No, you're going to see go at-bat for at-bat. And also you just consider the fact that there have been teams that have won a lot of games. Of course, you got the Yankees in 98. They won 114 games. There's a lot of teams that have won a lot of games out there. But if Albert Pujols hits 700, he'd be only the 4th player in Major League Baseball history. He's currently sitting at 697. Of course, Barry Bonds, his is Fugazi, his isn't real, at 762. But then you have Hank Aaron, 755 home runs, Babe Ruth at 714 home runs. So I definitely think that it probably will still steal some thunder. But at the end of the day, I don't mind it because I still think it's such a great feat because yeah, I think Albert Pujols has done it the right way. I think it was cool to see him hit 12 home runs for the Dodgers. Of course, I called him the DH, the Dodgers designated hugger, with what he bring to that Dodgers clubhouse. So it would be special. There's no question about it. But what are you guys' thoughts on that? And I think the thing, too, with this Dodgers team is the fact that everyone out there realizes that this team's success or failure is hinged on the fact that whether or not they win the World Series. So I think a lot of people realize that too. If it was a team like the Padres or some of these small market teams that won so many games that didn't have as talented of a roster, I think it would probably garner more media attention as well. But here we go. My only concern about Heaney is the home run rate. He gives up too many. That's from LLWC. Yeah, that is the issue with Andrew Heaney. That is his kryptonite. And if you look at his numbers for Andrew Heaney, already did the numbers after the game, he has just struggled to keep it in the yard, but at the same token, he also has been able to get a lot of swing and miss. And not just swing and miss in the zone, but he's gotten guys to chase at pitches outside of the zone. And I think that's the most impressive about it. Heaney out of the pen, that's from Diane Schroeder. We got Ken Freeman win MVP, Alejandro Estrada. I'll get to that one in a second, but first, Andrew Heaney today. He goes 5 innings, allows 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 74 pitches, 47 for strikes. He's allowed 11 home runs in his last 26 innings pitched. That's a 3.8 home runs per 9. And in his first 31 innings, he allowed just 1 home run. But he does have 42 strikeouts in his last 5 starts. That's a 14.9 strikeouts per 9. So back to the home runs. Now, why is he allowing the home runs? Well, the issue with Heaney in the home run ball is he's leaving too many fastballs out over the middle of the plate. And you saw today was another prime example of that. In the second inning, Cronenworth, first pitch, hard of the plate, fastball. He did not elevate that pitch enough, and Cronenworth, he took it out. And that is what he needs to avoid. He needs to avoid the middle of the plate and not elevating that fastball. You saw last week leaving them belt high, and that's the key for Heaney. Just keep the fastball up, and you keep throwing that slider down and in to right-handed batters, low and away from lefties. He's going to have success. And yeah, he's been very home run happy, but last 5 starts, 11 home runs, but the breaking ball down and away to lefties, and just keep that fastball up in the zone. And you saw tonight, or this afternoon, he was able to have success with that. Just look at Machado. He gets him to chase a fastball away in the first inning. Will Myers, a slider down and in the second for another strikeout. Then bottom of the third, Azúcar, he doubled to left. And that one was a slider that he kind of left at the bottom of the zone, but it wasn't low enough. Didn't have that same sharp break to it. Stayed in the middle of the plate. He doubles off of him. And then Kim, he lined to center for the first out. Then a 1-0 pitch. Azúcar scored on that error to Freddie Freeman. It was a ground ball, just kind of ate up Freddie Freeman there, kind of short hopped him a little bit, and then Soto was safe at first on that fielding error, and then he gets Machado to ground into a fielder's choice for the second out, and then 1-2 pitch, he gets Bell swinging on a 4-seam fastball up in the zone. So that is the pitch that I'm talking about. If you're going to throw that 4-seam fastball, you have to keep it up. You have to elevate it, just kind of like what you see from Julio Urias. When that 4-seam fastball is working for him, it is up in the zone. He is changing eye levels, and that's what's impressive about Heaney, because it's not easy to strike guys out and get Chase out of the zone, but the way he does that is by throwing you that sweeping slider, using that slider bottom of the zone, and then going way upstairs, up in the zone with that fastball. You're changing eye levels, you're mixing things up, and I think that's key for him. Then bottom of the fourth inning, he had a 1-2-3 inning. He got Myers to strike out looking on a 4-seam fastball up and in, and then he gets Cronenworth to ground to the catcher for the second out, and then he gets Profar to line to left for the third out. So a 1-2-3 efficient fourth inning, and in the bottom of the fifth inning, he gets Nola to line to center, and then he punches out Azúcar swinging on another fastball up in the zone, walks Kim on 5 pitches, then he walked Soto, and in that situation, he was struggling with some glove side command, and then yeah, it was just a better day for Andrew Heaney. Gets out of that one. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think that if he can find a way to keep in the yard, he does have a role on this team. If you look at his splits, when he goes against the opponent in the first 2 times through the order, he does have success. So it's just about the placement and shoring up that command and just controlling the strike zone. I still think that he can be a weapon for this team. And who knows, based on some injuries with other guys, they might absolutely have to go with him. But Hanser is a shutdown closer, better than Hader anyway. That's from Bob and TS. Yeah, I tweeted that the other day about his numbers. But yeah, Hanser Alberto, the fact that you talk about could he be a better closer than a hitter, that is an issue, okay? The Rams got rammed by the Bills, LLWC. My Saints won. That's from Calvin the Goat. Braves hate Kenley. That is from Res Y. Dodgers versus Yankees World Series, verbal knowledge. Didn't Buehler start with forearm soreness? Yeah, I mean, a lot of these injuries start with forearm soreness, but the difference between, and when they did the MRIs of Buehler, they didn't find very much, and the same thing with Gonsolin, they didn't find very much, but yeah, the thing is, Gonsolin's able to start his throwing program and pick up a baseball a lot sooner. So, yeah, Carr threw 3 ints. It hurts to be a Raiders fan. Wow. Yeah, I needed him to play bad today, but still wasn't enough. I lost in fantasy, guys. I'm 0 for 1. It's a dark day. IB Strokin, Trojans, Dodgers, Cowboys gang, and Grotz to Nate Diaz. Hey, good sports weekend for you, IB Strokin. Yeah, that SC offense, man, they are pretty explosive. Max Kuhn, what up, D-Mac? I want to see Pujols hit 700 at Dodger Stadium. Well, that would be pretty amazing if it could happen. No doubt about it there. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, you just never know. I mean, I think that at this point he's so close, he's going to get time in the lineup no matter what. They have their division locked up for sure. They're not going to be a threat to really eclipse the Dodgers or any of the NL West, any of the National League division leaders if you look at it right now as it stands. So if you look at it right now as it stands, the leaders in the National League, St. Louis, they're up 8 games on the Brewers, and yeah, I mean, if they went on a really hot streak, maybe they could catch the Braves and the Mets, but it's very unlikely. So you're definitely going to get an opportunity, But the Dodgers, they don't play the Cardinals until Friday, September 23rd. Who knows? It's possible. It would be pretty cool. I hope it, for his sake, I hope it happens in St. Louis, though. I think that'd be really special. But here we go. Pujols will have to absolutely slug to win a championship. Pitching is sus AF. That's from Gary A. Pujols, former Dodger. Yep. I think that at this point, my hope is that Albert Pujols goes into the Hall of Fame wearing a Dodgers hat. I really hope that happens. I have no idea why it would happen, but it would be pretty cool. Dodgers differential right now is plus 310. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's unbelievable. Jim Beam plus Dodgers equals blue high life. Thanks, Jimmy Denson. Concerned about how Dodgers pitching will match up with the Braves or Mets. I think, Linda, it's tough to assess that right now because I think, first, when it comes to the Braves or Mets, right now the Mets are a game and a half up on the Braves. The big thing for the Mets is, can they win the division? Can they hang on the NL East? Because if they don't, you're going to have to burn Scherzer. And Scherzer, I mean, who knows, man? Like, who knows what the status is, if it's even going to be back. Max Scherzer, he's had so many issues, more issues than Sports Illustrated at this point. I mean, Max Scherzer is definitely a health concern, and DeGrom, you never know. But if they don't win that division and you have to burn some of those frontline guys, they can't set their rotation in the NLCS versus the Dodgers. So if they had to face them in the NL, the Mets want to face the Dodgers in the DS and not the CS. But if they have to play in the wild card round, that would be an issue for them. So when it comes to the Braves, yeah, you got Fried. Yeah, you have guys there the Dodgers have struggled with, and their bullpen, when they're on, we saw was really one of the biggest reasons why they beat the Dodgers last year in the NLCS. But really the big key for the Dodgers, last year they didn't have Clayton Kershaw. This year they do. Last year, it was an arm injury for Kershaw. This year, it's a back injury where he's already gotten a shot, so hopefully he's okay, and he'll have enough bullets in the chamber where he can just truly empty the clip and just go on a big postseason run. And then you got Julio Urias, who's been fantastic. He continues to go out there and get it done for this Dodgers team. You know I call him the Urias for a reason, because I truly believe he's the ace of this staff. But we'll find out if Dustin May can figure things out by the time the postseason rolls around. He's had some command issues. He's hit batters. He's served up a couple home runs. But on the same token, he is absolutely filthy. He is Dustin Mayhem, Dustin Mania, and that's the big key down the stretch, is can he figure it out? Can Tony Gonsolin come back in time to build himself up to be a starter? Will Tyler Anderson, who hasn't had the same amount of swing and miss as he did earlier in the year with that filthy changeup with the vertical movement in the bottom of the zone, will he continue to be productive for this Dodger team? Because a lot of people don't realize this, but Tyler Anderson, he's been really the Dodgers' biggest workhorse this season. So everyone talks about the fact that Tony Gonsolin has thrown so many innings this season and that he might suffer some regression to the mean. But what happens when you talk about a Tyler Anderson, a guy that he leads, he's one of the leaders for the Dodgers out of this rotation when it comes to being a workhorse, and he leads the Dodgers with 154 and 2/3 innings pitched this season, a 2.73 ERA. So don't forget about TA. So there are questions, but I think that we're going to better be able to assess that and evaluate that question as far as pitching matchups when we truly see who's going to be healthy. Because right now, I'm waiting to see on the status of Blake Trinan, of even other guys, the Tommy Kahnleys of the world. So we'll find out. D-Mac to replace Joe Davis. For it all day. I love me some Joe Davis, but I appreciate you, my man. I can't the play-by-play. They really can't have takes, man. You know, they can't really have opinions. You know. When do you know about Joe Davis's opinion on anything? You know, like they have to kind of keep it down the middle. Me, I think I have too much to say sometimes. But whatever happened with Victor Gonzalez? That's from Christopher P. Yeah, Victor Gonzalez, he's looked pretty good in his minor league rehab start. So he continues to make his way back, and yeah, we're gonna have a big update on that tomorrow. So be sure to look out for the Dodgers injury report tomorrow on the Dodger Nation YouTube channel. And we'll see what happens with Victor Gonzalez, because he's a guy that we saw how good he was for LA in 2020, but he really struggled last season. But he came into camp this year ready to go. He dropped some LBs. He was healthy, lost the comments. Here we go. But here we go, yeah. But there's still a possibility he can come back. But thanks, Dodgers, for not ruining my Sunday from Billy Allen. Yeah, a couple more takes here, guys. Do some walk-off shots, and then we'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You can watch Sunday Night Football, do whatever you guys are going to do. There we go. There it is. Will Hanser pitch in the postseason? That's from Blue Magic. I don't think so. I mean, it may be mop-up time. If he is, it's probably a good thing. Let's just put it that way. By the way, when it comes to position players pitching this season, Hanser Alberto, he's pitched 8 in 8 games, and the Dodgers have won 8 of those games that he's pitched in. So that's definitely not normal. Usually when you see the position player pitching, it's usually in games where they're losing by a wide margin. So it's definitely cool to see that he's been able to have that success for the Dodgers in those situations. But here we go. We got JT retiring as a Dodger 100% from Hector Ramirez. Dean Dodge from DMAC. DMAC is the man. Hey, thanks, guys, man. Thanks for rocking with us, man. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, it's because of you we're doing more shows this season, and we're going to be doing pretty much every day pretty soon. But, yeah, latest on Victor Gonzalez. He is on track to return from that 60-day IL in mid-September. He began that rehab assignment on August 16th, so the Dodgers will have 30 days from that day to evaluate him before he'll have to be activated or pulled off the assignment. So through his first 5 rehab appearances at rookie-level Arizona in the Complex League and AAA OKC, he's had 5 innings, struck out 5, and allowed 3 earned runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. And Doc also said Tommy Kahnle and Danny Duffy are on similar return timelines. So the Dodgers may not have room for all those guys on that 28-man active roster down the stretch, even if they don't have setbacks. So I think the best case scenario is that the Dodgers have tough decisions to make, because if they have tough decisions to make, that means that you have more guys that are healthy, and we'll see. Do they play that Bobby Miller card? I mean, he's not even on the 40-man, but they'll figure things out. Deborah Young says, Danny who? Consider it smash. Thanks a lot. I'd be stroking. Danny who? Yeah, like I said, he's a PS5. I've heard about him. I've never actually seen him. He's like the Loch Ness Monster, a Chupacabra, the Bigfoot. But, yeah, to me, Danny Duffy's the Kendrick Nunn of the Dodgers. But thanks again for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show, guys. As always, you guys make the show what it is. I appreciate you. The Dodgers, they clinch a postseason berth for the 10th straight season. They win by a final score of 11-2. They improved to 96-43, 20 games up on the Padres. Justin Turner is Joe Musgrove's Padre. He continued to own him. He did hit 2 home runs today, not all on Musgrove, but yeah, Dodgers, they got it done in San Diego. I'm excited to see these Halloween costumes, these costumes that the Dodgers wear. They're wearing them as we speak. Look out for video on that. Dalton Rushing looking to pay off. Yeah, he's been fantastic. Jay Silva, appreciate you, my man. Justin Kane, appreciate you. EB, as always, all I want to see is Dodgers players pee and poop in the Diamondbacks pool. Okay, I'm dead. It's a fire take, though. The disrespect part too. Hopefully we don't see that, but hey, man, I'm here for it. But as always, guys, thanks for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time.